The wind howled through the thick alien jungle, bending the glowing trees and shaking the wet leaves like angry hands. The sky was dark, filled with thick gray clouds, and rain poured heavily onto the cracked ground below. Each drop fell like a whisper from the stars, cold and full of sadness. Cole, a lone human scout, walked slowly under a plastic raincoat, holding a dim light in one hand and a small bag on his back. He had been traveling through this forgotten sector for days, avoiding patrols, searching for old human tech lost during the last battle. His boots were muddy, and his mind was tired. But something strange stopped him. A sound. Not the growl of a predator, not the humming of alien drones, but a cry, soft and broken, carried by the wind. It sounded like a voice filled with pain. He froze, turning his head, trying to locate the source. The jungle was quiet, except for the rain, but then the cry came again, this time clearer. Please. Please, someone. Help. Cole moved forward, careful and silent. He pushed aside vines and glowing flowers, stepping into a small clearing. What he saw made him stop in shock. There, kneeling in the mud, was a young alien woman. Her skin was a soft gray blue, marked with faint glowing patterns. Her long hair was soaked and stuck to her face. Her eyes were wide, glowing green, and filled with tears. But it wasn't her who made Cole's heart freeze. It was the small bundle in her arms. A baby, tiny, still, wrapped in a wet brown cloth. Unmoving, the woman looked up at Cole, her lips trembling. Her voice cracked as she whispered, "My baby? She won't wake up. Please help her, human." Cole hesitated. His mind raced. This was dangerous. Aliens didn't trust humans, and humans didn't trust aliens. Many would call her the enemy, but looking into her eyes, he saw something. Elsphere pain. Love, slowly. He stepped closer. "Let me see her," he said gently. The alien mother held the baby tighter for a moment, then slowly opened the cloth. The baby girl looked peaceful. Too peaceful. Her tiny chest wasn't rising. Her lips were a little purple, her skin pale. Cole dropped to his knees. Placing his bag down, he checked the child's pulse. Weak. Very weak. He pressed 2 fingers on her tiny chest, then looked up at the mother. When did she stop breathing? She was cold. "We were running." "I don't know," the mother whispered, her hands shaking. "Please don't let her die." Cole knew time was short. He tilted the baby's head gently, blew air into her mouth, pressed her chest in soft pushes. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. His heart pounded. He had trained for this, but never thought he'd use it on an alien child. The rain continued to fall around them, but Cole didn't stop. The mother covered her mouth, eyes wide in fear and hope. Every second felt like forever. Then, a small sound, a cough, a weak, tiny breath. The baby's chest moved slightly. "She's breathing," Cole said. Shocked and relieved, the alien mother gasped, falling to her knees. "Thank you. Thank you, human." Cole wrapped the baby in a dry cloth from his bag. "She's alive, but very weak. She needs warmth, safety. Medicine, I have no one." The mother whispered, "My people. They cast me out. They said she was a curse." Cole looked at the child again. Something in her small face looked familiar. Her nose, her cheeks. They weren't fully alien. "She's half human," he said quietly. The woman nodded. "Her father was one of your kind. He died protecting us." Thunder rolled across the sky, reminding Cole they weren't safe here. He stood up, holding the baby carefully. "Come with me," he said. "There's an old shelter nearby. We'll get her dry, and I'll see what I can do." The mother stood too, still trembling, but she followed. Her eyes didn't leave her child, and her hands stayed close, as if ready to fight fate again if needed. As they moved through the jungle, Cole felt the weight of more than just the baby in his arms. He had stepped into something bigger than himself, a war between species, a child who should not exist, a mother who risked everything for love, and a question whispered by the storm: what would he do now? The shelter was barely standing, hidden behind thick vines and old roots. It was once a human outpost, but now it was forgotten. No lights, no signal, just rusted walls and broken machines. Still, it was shelter, and right now, that was everything they needed. Cole pushed open the heavy metal door with one shoulder, carefully carrying the baby in his arms. The alien mother followed close behind, her arms wrapped tightly around her soaked body. She didn't speak, but her glowing eyes never left her child's face. Inside, it was dark and cold. Dust danced in the air, lit by flashes of lightning from a crack in the wall. Cole found an old crate and laid the baby gently on a dry cloth from his bag. He knelt down and touched her forehead. Was still cold. The alien mother knelt beside him, her voice barely a whisper. She's breathing, but so faint she still won't wake up. Cole nodded, pulling out a small medical kit. It had basic tools, some nutrient packs, a skin warmer, and an old stim patch. He unwrapped the baby slowly, carefully placing the patch on her tiny chest. A soft green light blinked just barely. She needs warmth more than anything, he said. Her body is shutting down. I don't know if this is enough. The mother looked down, then pulled off her outer coat and held it close to the baby. Use this, she said. My skin handles cold. She's only half. Cole paused, then nodded. He wrapped the baby again and placed her close to a heating plate he activated with a solar cell. It sparked a little, then hummed with weak energy. The warmth spread slowly. What's her name? Cole asked gently, trying to keep her talking, to keep her from breaking. The mother looked up, surprised. Name? Yes, Cole said, looking at the child's peaceful but pale face. Does she have one? The alien woman hesitated, then slowly said, Tali. I named her Tali. Cole smiled slightly. Tali. It's beautiful. For a moment, the storm outside faded into silence. Just the sound of rain hitting the metal roof, the soft humming of the heat plate, and the tiny breaths of baby Tali. Still, she didn't wake up. Suddenly, a sound outside. A sharp click. Cole stood quickly, pulling his sidearm from under his coat. He motioned to the alien mother to stay quiet. She crawled back into the shadows, keeping one hand on her daughter. Her body tense, footsteps not many, 2 or 3. Heavy, slow, they weren't human. Cole aimed his weapon at the door, his heart pounding. Then a voice came through the wall, rough and mechanical. We tracked her. She's inside. The hybrid. Cole's eyes narrowed. They were bounty hunters. He had seen these types before, lands who hunted for credits, following orders from those who feared mixed blood. They would take the mother and child and leave nothing but ash behind. The alien mother whispered, They found us. They'll kill her. Not if I stop them, Cole said. You'll die, then I'll die standing. He said firmly, That baby is innocent, and you risked everything for her. I'm not letting them take either of you. The door shook as someone slammed into it. Cole backed up, aiming carefully. He glanced down at the baby, her small fingers twitching just once, but her eyes still closed. Come on, Tali. Fight, he whispered, with a loud crash. The door burst open, and 2 tall bounty hunters entered. Their skin was rough, armor dark and sharp. One held a glowing spear, the other a net gun. There, one growled, Give us the child, human, and walk away. We won't chase you. Cole didn't move. She's not yours. She's not yours either, the hunter hissed, stepping closer. Cole fired the first shot. The room exploded into noise. Lights flickered, the wall sparked, and the alien mother shielded Tali with her body. Cole ducked behind a broken table, exchanging fire. One bounty hunter fell, the other charged forward. Cole ran out of ammo. The hunter raised his spear, just as a blast of lightning flashed behind him, illuminating the alien mother as she threw a sharp metal shard. Hitting him in the neck, the room went quiet. Both bounty hunters were down. Smoke filled the air. The storm still raged outside. But inside, it was suddenly peaceful again. Cole stumbled over, breathing hard. "You okay?" The alien mother nodded, then pointed to the baby. Taylor's chest was rising a little stronger now, and a soft sound escaped her lips weak. "But there, she's fighting," Cole said softly, hope filling his chest. The mother closed. Her eyes, tears falling again, but this time they were tears of hope, not fear. Cole looked at the door, then at the child, and finally at the mother. "This isn't over. More will come." The mother nodded. "Then we run." Cole picked up the baby carefully, looked into her half-open eyes, and whispered, "Hang in there, little one. We're just getting started." The rain had not stopped. It poured like the sky itself was crying. Washing the blood from the floor of the old outpost, Cole led the way through the jungle. Baby Tali bundled tightly in his arms. The alien mother, Selah, followed close behind. Silent, tired, but not broken, they moved fast. Even with the mud grabbing at their boots and the trees reaching with wet vines, there was no time to rest. The bounty hunters may have fallen, but more would come. They always did, especially when a price had been placed on someone's head. Cole paused near a thick wall of roots. Checking behind them, the jungle was too quiet. "We need to move faster," he said. Selah looked at her baby and then at the dark path ahead. "There's an old mining tunnel up ahead. It's deep, goes under the hills. If we reach it, they'll lose our trail." Cole nodded. "Lead the way." As they climbed over slippery rocks, Cole glanced at Tali. Her face was a little pinker now, breathing a bit deeper, but she still hadn't opened her eyes fully. Her little fingers twitched from time to time, and that gave him hope. "How did they find us?" he asked. Selah didn't answer right away. Her eyes were scanning the trees. "Because I used to be one of them," she finally said. "Before I had her, I was a tracker. I hunted others like runaways, traitors, half-bloods." Cole looked at her, surprised. "So they see you as a traitor now?" Selah nodded slowly. "The moment I chose her life over the law, I've stopped being one of them. They believe hybrids are a disease, a threat to pure bloodlines, so they hunt them, manned their parents." Cole's jaw tightened. "She's not a disease, she's a child." Selah looked down at Tali, her voice shaking. "They don't care. They fear her, and what they fear. They reached the entrance to the mining tunnel, hidden behind thick vines and an old rusted gate. Cole kicked the lock open, and they slipped inside. The air changed cooler, damp, echoing with distant drips of water. The tunnel was dark, but Cole's wrist light helped guide the way. "We'll rest a little inside," he said, "then move again before dawn." They found an old supply room with broken crates and rusty tools. Cole made a spot on the floor with blankets and a small emergency heater from his pack. He gently laid Tali down, then turned to Selah. "You should rest too." Selah shook her head. "I can't close my eyes." "Not when she's like this." Cole understood. He sat beside her. Checking the stim patch on the baby's chest, it blinked slow and steady. "She's stronger than they know." He said, "She's fighting." Selah smiled faintly, like her father. Cole looked at her. What was he like? She closed her eyes, kind, curious. "He wasn't a soldier. He was a teacher. He wanted to learn about my people. He didn't care about politics or bloodlines when they found out about us. He refused to leave me. He died protecting us." Cole said nothing for a moment. The silence was heavy, filled with things that didn't need words. Suddenly, there was a crack above them, small, sharp, like gravel shifting. Sayla stood quickly. They're here. Cole grabbed his weapon, pressing his ear to the tunnel wall. He could hear it too movement. Voices, armor, scraping stone. They must have followed our trail to the tunnel entrance. He whispered, "We have to go deeper." He lifted Tali. Again, and Sayla grabbed a pipe from the floor as a weapon. Her body was trembling, but her eyes were clear and ready. They slipped out of the room and moved down into the black belly of the tunnel. Deeper than light could follow, the air became colder, the walls tighter, and the echoes louder. Behind them, they heard shouts distant, but growing closer. Suddenly, a light flashed ahead, white and blinding. Cole stopped, raising his weapon. But the figure stepping from the light wasn't a bounty hunter, was a miner's repair drone. Still active after all these years, Cole quickly pulled out his old tech pass and waved it. The drone scanned it and blinked green. Emergency med access requested. Cole said firmly. The drone paused. Then opened a side panel on the wall, revealing a med station still intact. Cole laid Tali down as the scanner hummed and lights ran over her tiny form. Unknown hybrid, the drone said in a metallic voice. Requires authorization for treatment. Cole frowned. Override human medical code. Priority Alpha. The drone paused, then beeped. Processing. Behind them, footsteps echoed louder, closer. Sayla looked back. Ready to fight. Then the drone said, "Authorization accepted." Beginning treatment, Cole exhaled in relief. She's going to make it. But they weren't safe yet. And the next few minutes would decide if Tali lived free or never woke again. The tunnel walls vibrated with distant footsteps, voices. Echoed deeper now, closer, sharper. Cole stood beside the old medical unit, his gun aimed at the darkness beyond. Baby Tali lay inside the glowing chamber, her tiny body wrapped in silver healing gel. The repair drone beeped and scanned her vitals again, lights flashing steadily. She is stable. But weak, the machine said. Her blood is mixed half human, half Solari. Treatment will take 4 hours. We don't have 4 hours, Cole muttered, scanning the tunnel behind them. Sayla stood a few meters away, pipe in hand, her body still tense, her glowing eyes filled with both hope and fear. Suddenly, the drone's voice changed tone. Warning. Unauthorized signal detected. System breach attempt in progress. Cole turned. What does that mean? Another system is trying to shut this unit down. No, Sayla whispered, stepping closer. They're trying to stop the healing, eh? Red warning light lit up over the pod, and the drone's mechanical arms froze in mid-move. Tali twitched slightly, her fingers curling. Cole slammed his fist on the control panel. Keep going. She needs this. The drone replied, override required. Level 3 or higher clearance. Cole's mind raced. Level 3 clearance wasn't something you just carried around, less you were high command or had deep access codes. His military pass wasn't enough. Here, then he remembered, the black keycard buried in the pouch around his neck. The one he was ordered never to use unless his life was on the line. He had stolen it from a crashed base back on Delta Ridge. If command found out, they'd hunt him for treason. But looking at the child, still unconscious, breathing slower, and the mother standing there with everything in her eyes, Cole made a choice. He pulled the keycard out and slid it through the panel. The drone paused, then responded. Clearance accepted. Treatment resuming. The red light turned green again, and the arms began to move. Wrapping the baby gently, applying thin nano bandages over her chest. The gel glowed brighter as the warmth returned. But it wasn't over yet. Someone's jamming. The outer systems, Cole said. They're cutting power soon. Sayla looked around. Desperate. Then we buy time. How many are coming? Too many, Cole answered. 5, maybe 6 armed, trained. They want her. Or they want her gone. The tunnel shook slightly. A soft thump in the distance like boots dropping heavily. Marching slowly forward, Selah looked at her baby. Then at Cole. She can't be moved now, right? He shook his head. Not while she's in the pod. Even a few seconds outside, it could stop her heart. Selah stepped closer to Cole. Her voice low, then take her and run. I'll stop them here. Cole stared at her, stunned. No, I'm not leaving you behind. You must, she insisted. Her eyes fierce now. She needs you, and I'm not like you've killed people like them. I know how they move, how they fight. Cole clenched his jaw. You'll die, maybe. She whispered, but if she lives, it's worth it. Before he could stop her, she kissed her baby's forehead gently, tears falling onto the gel surface. Then she handed Cole a small pendanta clear stone that glowed faintly blue. This was her father's. Give it to her when she's old enough to understand. Cole took it silently, his heart heavy. This wasn't fair. No part of this was fair. Then he looked at the pod again, and knew there was no time to argue. I'll hold the rear tunnel, Selah said, gripping the pipe tight. If they break through, you keep running. Promise me that. Cole nodded once. I promise. He moved to the back of the room and found the emergency ladder chute led up to the surface and curved. Toward the eastern hills, hidden by overgrowth and rocks, Selah would fight in the dark below. And he would carry hope to the light above, just before he started climbing. He looked back one last time. Selah stood there, proud and still, like a soldier facing death without blinking. She didn't wave, didn't cry, she only nodded. And in that moment, they said goodbye without saying a word. As Cole climbed with the baby pod strapped to his chest, the tunnel echoed with the sound of battle behind him, pipes hitting walls. Weapons firing, shouts and alien voices, and a single scream swallowed by dust and distance. He didn't stop. Above, the rain had slowed, but the wind still blew hard. Cole pushed through the underbrush, away from the smoke and fire now rising from the entrance behind him. The baby pod beeped gently. Tailey's heart was stronger now, her breathing deeper, her tiny hands twitching, as if she felt every footstep her protector took. Cole looked at her face, peaceful once again, and whispered softly, Your mother is a warrior, little one, and now, so am I. The wind howled across the rocky hills, tossing dust into the night sky. Cole climbed carefully, each step slow but steady. The baby pod was strapped tightly to his chest, glowing softly, keeping Tali alive. She was warmer now, her tiny chest rising slowly, her vitals steady, but she still hadn't opened her eyes. Cole's body ached, soaked in sweat and rain. But he didn't stop. He had to keep moving. Selah had bought him time, and he couldn't waste it. Every breath the baby took now was because her mother stayed behind to face death alone. He reached the top of the ridge, scanning the horizon in the far distance. A single blinking light rose above the trees, a signal tower. He remembered the old maps. That tower had an underground bunker, still powered by emergency solar. Maybe. Just maybe? It had medical tech that could finish what the pod started. Cole adjusted his grip and started down the other side of the ridge. His boots slid on the wet rocks, but he kept going. The wind grew louder, like whispers chasing him from behind. Halfway down, his cum clicked alive. ... Human identified. Traitor to military code. Subject to capture or termination. Cole gritted his teeth. So they're using the satellite system now. He was marked. A traitor for saving a hybrid child, a hunted man for showing mercy. He ignored the voice and kept walking. Through thick trees and over broken ground, the blinking light of the tower grew closer with every step, but so did the danger. Drones could be nearby. Or worse, rogue patrols, still loyal to the old laws. Just as he reached the edge of the clearing, he heard a tin engine, low and rough. Not far away, he ducked down quickly, hiding behind thick roots. Holding the baby pod close, he peeked out carefully. A small patrol vehicle hovered into view, 2 human soldiers inside, one scanning the area, the other checking a map. They said he went this way. One said, carrying a hybrid. Probably using one of the old tunnels. What's the bounty? The other asked, dead or alive, double if the child is unharmed. Cole felt rage rise in his chest. Tylee wasn't a threat. She wasn't a criminal. She was just a baby. A child whose only crime was being born. As the vehicle passed, he moved. Quickly through the shadows, toward the backside of the tower, he found a locked hatch. Mostly hidden under vines and rust, he tapped the keypad beside it. Hoping the old code still worked, the light blinked red once. Then green. The hatch opened with a hiss, revealing a ladder leading down into darkness. He climbed down, the smell of old wires and dust surrounding him. At the bottom was a dim corridor with glowing signs. Medical wing gives in faded letters. He followed the arrows, his steps quick but quiet. At last, he reached the med chamber. It was dusty but functional. A single AI unit sat at the center, its light blue and blinking slowly. Scan required, the voice said. Cole placed the pod. On the table, infant, hybrid. Condition stable but weak, continue healing. The scanner buzzed. Beams of light washing over Tylee's body. Vital signs detected. Infection risk low. Full recovery possible, the AI responded. Cole sat down for the first time in hours. Breathing deeply, he watched the baby, her tiny hands twitching again, her eyelids fluttering. Then her lips parted. A soft, broken sound came out, a small cry. Cole froze. Tylee cried again. Louder this time, weak but real. Her fingers opened, her little eyes blinked halfway open. Cole rushed forward, tears forming in his eyes. He gently touched her hand. Hey there. You're awake. She looked at him with cloudy eyes. Confused but calm, he laughed quietly, wiping his face. You're a fighter, just like your mom. The AI beeped again. Treatment will complete in 6 hours. Life functions are stable. Cole stood there, looking at the little girl, and a heavy thought dropped into his heart. He had made it. She was safe for now, but he wasn't. He was marked as a traitor. Hunted by both humans and aliens, there was no going back. No more military. No more name, no more home, unless... He walked over to the ID console, pulled out his access chip, and stared at it. The AI spoke again. Do you wish to request full identity wipe and start civilian protection protocol? Cole didn't speak for a moment. Then he nodded slowly. Yes, one life for another. That's the price of mercy. The machine beeped, confirming. Cole R. Hayes will be deleted from all networks. Cole placed the pendant Selah had given him into the pod next to Tylee's hand. Your mother gave her life for you, and I gave up my name. You'd better grow up and change the galaxy. Little one, Tylee blinked again. This time, slower, more peaceful. She was safe, for now. But the world wouldn't let her be safe forever, and Cole knew. His fight was only just beginning. The bunker was quiet now. The kind of silence that felt deep and soft. Cole sat near the medical pod, his body still, but his eyes wide open. Tylee's small cries had faded into gentle breaths, and now she slept really. Slept, not the weak, shallow kind that worried him before, but true rest, the kind only safe people could have. The healing pod glowed with a soft golden light, showing steady, vital signs. Her skin had color again, and her hands no longer twitched with pain. She looked like a sleeping star, small and full of hope. Cole stared at her, still not believing it. After all the danger, the fear, the running, she was alive. Her heart was strong, her breath steady. She had survived what most would not. You're tougher than anyone I've ever known, he whispered, his voice almost breaking. Just like your mother. At the thought of Selah, a wave of pain rushed through him. He could still hear the sound of the battle echoing through the tunnel. Still see her standing tall with a weapon in hand, ready to give her life for her child. He didn't know if she made it out, but a part of him feared the answer. His military ID was gone now, erased from all records. His name, his rank, his past tit no longer existed. The AI had followed the white protocol perfectly. Now, he was just a man with a child, and no place in the world. The bunker lights flickered briefly as power shifted to night mode. Outside, the wind had calmed, and for the first time in days, the storm had passed. Cole stood and stretched his tired arms, checking the scanner on the baby pod one more time. "She wakes soon," the AI voice said. "Vitals are fully restored. Organic repair complete." He nodded. "What about long-term care?" "Unknown," the AI replied. "Subject is hybrid, records are limited. Development must be monitored manually." He exhaled slowly. "Then I'll stay with her, watch her grow, protect her." He didn't finish the sentence. Not long after, Tali stirred. Her eyelids fluttered gently, and her tiny fingers stretched open. She made a soft noise, a sound, like a curious hum mixed with breath. Then, slowly, her glowing green eyes opened halfway and looked around. Cole leaned in close. "Hey, you're awake." Tali's gaze landed on him, and her little mouth opened in wonder. She reached out, touching his shirt with weak but eager fingers. Her expression was soft, innocent, but full of something ancient trust. "You remember me, don't you?" He whispered. "I was the one who heard her cry, and I couldn't walk away." He unlatched the pod carefully and lifted her into his arms. Her small body was warm now, and she felt real, not like a fragile memory, but like someone who belonged here, alive. As he held her close, Tali cooed softly and rested her head on his chest. A tear rolled down Cole's cheek, and he didn't hide it. "You made it, little one. You really made it." He sat with her beside the terminal, watching the night sky through the cracked ceiling of the bunker. The stars had returned, shining bright against the dark sky. The wind whispered through the trees outside. Peaceful now. Then, something buzzed near the console. An old COM relay flickered to life, barely working, but still alive. A signal. Weak, coded, hidden. Cole narrowed his eyes. Encrypted message. He asked. The AI translated from Echo Base 9. Message, Sanctuary active. Coordinates enclosed. All hybrids welcome. Bring the child. Cole blinked, surprised. There are others. Yes, the AI said. Echo 9 is a known safe zone for hybrids and defectors hidden deep in the mountains. He stared at the screen, thinking hard. He was no longer part of the military, no longer a scout. But this message, it felt like fate. Tali stirred again in his arms, one hand grabbing his finger tightly. Her tiny grip was full of life, full of meaning. She didn't need words to tell him what to do next. "All right," he said softly. "Let's go find this place. See if it's real. See if there's a future for you." For us, he packed the few supplies he had, carefully wrapped Tali in a warm sling across his chest, and stepped outside into the clean night air. The stars above didn't judge him, didn't ask questions. They simply watched, and as he walked away from the bunker, carrying the child who had survived against all odds, he felt something new rise inside him. Not fear, not regret, but purpose. Tali made a soft sound, her eyes closing once again in peaceful sleep. Cole smiled. "Rest. Kiddo, we've got a new life to find." The path to Echo Base 9 was not marked on any map. It wound through steep mountains, across glowing valleys, and into cold caves where only silence lived. Cole walked carefully with Tali wrapped against his chest, each step steady, each breath taken for her. The little one slept most of the time, but when she opened her eyes, they glowed bright like stars. She never cried now, She didn't need to. She felt safe. Held close to a man who had lost everything but still chose her. Cole's legs were tired, his back ached, and his eyes burned. From lack of sleep, but he kept moving, for Selah, for the promise he made. And for the tiny heartbeat that reminded him he still had something worth fighting for. On the third night, he reached a rock wall, covered in moss and vines. Behind it was the hidden entrance, just as the AI said. He pressed a hidden panel buried beneath the dirt, scanning. A voice whispered, calm and smooth, hybrid signature detected. Entry granted. The wall slid open with a soft hiss, revealing a narrow tunnel lit by soft golden lights. Cole stepped inside, unsure of what to expect. At the end of the tunnel, a large chamber opened bright, clean, alive. It wasn't a base, was a home. Dozens of beings walked through the space. Humans and aliens, young and old. Some carrying children, some working together to build more shelter. There was no hate in their eyes. No fear, just tired kindness. Just peace. A woman approached, a tall alien with silver skin and long robes. Her eyes were soft, her voice gentle. Welcome, traveler. You've brought her. Cole nodded slowly, adjusting Tali in the sling. She almost didn't make it. Her mother gave everything to keep her alive. The woman placed a hand over her heart and bowed. She must have loved her deeply. We honor her sacrifice. Cole swallowed hard, but said nothing. The pain of Selah's loss still sat heavy in his chest, but hearing her remembered made it easier to carry. She will be safe here. The woman continued, and you, human, you are not like the others. You chose mercy when others chose silence. Cole looked around. I didn't choose anything. I just couldn't walk away. The woman smiled. Sometimes that is enough to change a world. She led him to a quiet corner where soft beds were laid for new arrivals. A healer came to check on Tali, nodding with approval. She is strong, the healer said. She will grow fast, and she will live. Cole finally allowed himself to rest. He lay back, keeping Tali on his chest, listening to her breathing for the first time in what felt like forever. He slept when he woke. Soft morning light filled the chamber. Tali was sitting upright now, supported by small cushions. She looked around with wide eyes, blinking at the colors. She reached toward him, and he gently took her hand. You made it, he whispered. You really did. She smiled a small, perfect smile. The kind that filled his heart with warmth he hadn't felt in years. In that moment, he understood what Selah had seen, what she had fought for, what she had died for. It wasn't just a child, it was a future. Days passed, and Echo 9 became home. Cole helped build, helped guard the walls. He trained others to spot danger and taught children how to stay safe. He never asked for a title, but many began calling him. The one who chose Tali grew quickly, learning to crawl, then walk. Her first word wasn't mama or dada, but light, spoken while pointing at the stars above. She had Salah's eyes, Cole thought, and her fire too. One night, as they sat by the fire in the center of the chamber, Tali curled in his lap, looking up at him. She held the blue pendant her mother had given, now worn around her neck. Where is she? Tali asked softly. Her words were clear now. Curious. Cole looked up at the stars above, then back at her. She's up there, watching you. Always watching you, little one. Tali hugged him tightly, resting her head against his chest. You're my papa now, she whispered sleepily. Cole closed his eyes, a single tear slipping down. Not from pain, but from something warmer. Yes, he said, I am. He held her close as the stars above shimmered gently, reminding him that even in a broken galaxy, where laws failed and hatred ruled, hope could still survive. It could cry out in the storm, be carried by a stranger's hands, and grow strong in the arms of love.